Have you ever felt trapped, like you're stuck in a place or a situation with no way out? It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? Well, today I want to share a story that might just change the way you see your own walls. It's about a 15-year-old boy who lived in a place so gloomy it seemed like the sun itself had forgotten it. Imagine this, a small village huddled in the deep folds of a mountain range. The peaks were so high they snagged the clouds, casting a permanent gray shadow over everything below. For most of the year, a cold damp mist clung to the ground, and the only sounds were the whisper of the wind and the distant cry of a hawk. This was the world of a young boy named Kai. Kai's family was as poor as the soil they tried to farm. They lived in a small, rickety wooden house that groaned with every gust of wind. His parents worked from dawn till dusk, their hands calloused and their backs bent, but the barren land gave back very little. Their meals were often just potatoes and thin soup. For Kai, life was a cycle of chores, hunger, and the crushing weight of that endless gloom. He looked around and saw the same story written on every face in the village. People moved slowly, their eyes downcast, as if they were carrying the mountain on their shoulders. They accepted their fate. "This is just how it is," they'd say. "We are born of the mountain, and we will die in the mountain." This idea settled deep in Kai's mind, like a seed of despair. He believed it. He saw his future stretching out before him, a life of hard labor, perpetual cold, and the same quiet resignation as his parents. Every morning, he'd wake up, look out at the gray mist, and a feeling of hopelessness would wash over him. He felt like a bird with clipped wings, born in a cage and never even knowing the sky was meant for flying. The mountains weren't just a place. They were a prison, and he was a lifelong inmate. He believed there was no escape. One day, an old traveling merchant passed through the village, a rare event. He was unlike anyone Kai had ever seen. His eyes sparkled with a light that defied the gray surroundings. While resting, he noticed Kai, staring blankly at the mountain peaks. The merchant smiled and asked, "What do you see up there?" Young man Kai shrugged, "Just rocks and fog. The walls of our prison." The old man chuckled, a warm sound that felt out of place in the cold air. "A prison. That's one way to see it. But you know, a wall can be a barrier, or it can be something to climb. It all depends on how you look at it." He then told Kai something that would echo in his mind for years. "Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you believe you are trapped, you will be. But if you believe there is a way out, your mind will start building the steps." That night, Kai couldn't sleep. The merchant's words played over and over in his head. "Your thoughts are the architects of your reality." For the first time, a tiny spark of defiance lit up in his mind. What if the old man was right? What if the prison wasn't the mountain, but his own belief that he was trapped? The next morning, something inside him had shifted. When he looked at the mountain, he didn't just see a wall. He saw pathways, he saw ridges he could follow. He saw the plants growing in the cracks and wondered what they were. He started asking questions. Instead of "Why is my life so hard?" he started asking, "How can I make it better?" This simple shift in thinking changed everything. His actions began to follow his new thoughts. He started exploring the mountain, not as a prisoner in his yard, but as a student in a giant, outdoor classroom. He paid attention to the plants the goats wouldn't eat and wondered if they had other uses. He watched the streams and wondered where they led. He began talking to the elders, not about their hardships, but about their knowledge. He learned about medicinal herbs that grew on the higher slopes, plants his ancestors had used, but which the current generation had forgotten in their despair. He learned which types of wood were best for carving and which rocks held valuable minerals. The mountain, his former prison, was transforming into a treasure chest, all because he started looking for the key. His family and the villagers thought he was strange. "Why waste your energy climbing?" they'd say. "There's nothing up there but more rocks." But Kai was no longer fueled by their despair. He was fueled by his own curiosity and a newfound belief in possibility. He started small. He gathered rare medicinal herbs and, the next time a trader came by, he had something valuable to offer. He traded the herbs for better tools and seeds that could grow in their poor soil. He learned to carve intricate figures from the unique wood he found, creating small pieces of art that were unlike anything seen in the lowlands. Slowly, painstakingly, his life began to change. He wasn't just surviving anymore, he was creating. His family's table started to see more than just potatoes. He was able to buy them warmer clothes. The little wooden house got a new, sturdy roof. A bit of color started to creep back into their lives. Years passed. The boy who once saw only a prison became the man who knew the mountain better than anyone. He had mapped its secret paths, unlocked its resources, and learned its rhythms. He organized the villagers, teaching them what he had learned. He showed them how to harvest the herbs, how to find the minerals, and how to create goods they could trade. The village began to transform. The cloud of gloom started to lift, not because the sun shone any brighter, but because the people had found a light within themselves. They were no longer victims of their environment. They were partners with it. Their houses became stronger, their children healthier, and their faces, once downcast, were now lifted with a sense of purpose and pride. Kai became a leader. respected not for his strength, but for his vision. He had shown everyone that the greatest mountain they had to climb was the one in their own minds. He proved that changing your thinking is the first and most powerful step to changing your world. He didn't magically escape the mountains. Instead, he transformed his prison into a paradise. He found his freedom not by leaving, but by looking at his world in a new way. So, what about you? What are the mountains in your life? The situations or beliefs that make you feel trapped? Maybe it's a job you feel stuck in, a financial struggle, or just a feeling that you're not living up to your potential. Kai's story teaches us a profound lesson. The circumstances around us are real, but the meaning we give them is a choice. The stories we tell ourselves about our limitations can become self-fulfilling prophecies, but the reverse is also true. When you change your thoughts from "I can't" to "How can I," you open up a universe of possibilities. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool. It can be your cage, or it can be the key that sets you free. It all starts with a single thought, a single question, a single decision to look at the wall in front of you and see a ladder instead. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this time with me. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that I hope will inspire and empower you. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What S1 mountain you're ready to start climbing? See you in the next video.